Most people are not confused because they are lazy. They are confused because they are trying to build a life without knowing what they actually value. And if you do not know your values, almost every decision becomes louder than it needs to be. Welcome to Mentoring Myself, real guidance for finding peace, purpose, stability, and success. These are the lessons I wish I had when I was in your shoes. I'm Ali Christos. Today, we are talking about values, not in a cheesy way, not in a corporate workshop way, not in a write down 5 nice words and forget about them kind of way. I mean the real values underneath your choices, the values that quietly decide who you date, what work you choose, what friendships you keep, what you say yes to, what you tolerate, what you chase, what you avoid, and what kind of life you end up building. Because here is the truth. If you do not choose your values consciously, you will probably live by values you inherited from your parents, from your culture, from school, from social media, from pain, from survival, from the version of you that just wanted approval. And then one day you may look around and think, why does this life not feel like mine? Why am I doing things that impress people but do not fulfill me? Why do I keep saying yes to things that drain me? Why do I feel guilty when I choose what is true for me? Why do I feel successful on paper but unsettled inside? Sometimes the answer is simple. You are living by values that were never really yours. A lot of young adults are told to chase success, but nobody asks them what success means to them. A lot of people are told to be realistic, but nobody asks them if the realistic path is slowly making them disappear. A lot of people are told to make money, and money matters, but nobody asks what kind of life they want that money to support. A lot of people are told to make their family proud, and that can be beautiful, but nobody asks whether they are becoming someone they are proud to be. Values matter because they are the inner compass. Goals tell you what you want to achieve. Values tell you who you want to be while you are achieving it. That difference matters. You can have a goal to make money, but your value might be freedom, security, generosity, peace, creativity, or power. Each one creates a different life. You can have a goal to be in a relationship, but your value might be honesty, loyalty, growth, stability, adventure, or emotional safety. Each one creates a different relationship. You can have a goal to be successful, but your value might be recognition, service, excellence, independence, family, impact, or self-respect. Each one creates a different version of success. So when you say, I want success, the real question is, success in service of what? Because if you do not answer that question, you may end up climbing a ladder that was leaning against the wrong wall. And that is painful, because from the outside, it can look like you are winning, but inside, you feel disconnected. That is why knowing your values is not just a self-help exercise. It is a life design tool. Your values help you say no. Your values help you choose friends. Your values help you choose work. Your values help you choose what kind of content you consume. Your values help you choose what kind of opportunities are worth your energy. Your values help you understand why some things look good but feel wrong. When you do not know your values, every attractive option can pull you. But when you know your values, some options stop being tempting. Not because they are bad, because they are not aligned. That creates peace. Not perfect peace, but quieter decisions. There have been seasons in my life where I had to ask myself what I actually valued, not what looked impressive, not what other people understood, not what made sense on paper. What actually mattered to me: freedom, depth, integrity, growth, spiritual understanding, service, creative expression, peace. And once I started seeing those values more clearly, certain decisions became clearer too. Some paths may have looked successful, but they did not feel aligned. Some opportunities may have looked impressive, but they were not worth the cost to my peace. Some versions of success looked good from the outside, but did not match the life I wanted to live from the inside. That is what values do. They help you recognize the difference between what looks good and what feels true. So here are 3 practical shifts I would give you. First, look at your current life and ask, what values am I already living? Not what values do you wish you had? Not what values sound noble. Look at your calendar. Look at your spending. Look at your relationships. Look at your habits. Look at what you keep choosing. Your life already reveals your values. If you say health matters, but your body is always last, something is off. If you say peace matters, but you keep choosing chaos, something is off. If you say freedom matters, but every decision is built around approval, something is off. If you say growth matters, but you avoid every uncomfortable truth, something is off. This is not to shame you, it is to create awareness, because you cannot align your life until you are honest about what is currently leading it. Second, separate inherited values from chosen values. Ask yourself, what did I learn to value because it helped me survive? What did I learn to value because it got me approval? What did my family teach me to value? What did my culture teach me to value? What did social media teach me to value? What did pain teach me to value? Maybe you learned to value achievement because love felt tied to performance. Maybe you learned to value being easygoing because conflict felt unsafe. Maybe you learned to value money because instability scared you. Maybe you learned to value being liked because rejection hurt too much. Maybe you learned to value independence because depending on people did not feel safe. These values are not random. They often come from somewhere. But the question is, do they still serve the life you want to build? Some inherited values are beautiful. Keep them. Some protected you for a season. Thank them. Some are now keeping you trapped. Release them. Third, choose your top 5 guiding values for this season, not forever. This season. Because values can evolve as you grow. Ask, what do I want this season of my life to be built on? Maybe your values are peace, discipline, honesty, community, and growth. Maybe they are freedom, creativity, service, health, and courage. Maybe they are stability, love, faith, excellence, and self-respect. There is no perfect list. The point is to choose consciously, then use those values as a filter. Before saying yes, ask, does this support my values? Before chasing something, ask, is this aligned with the life I actually want? Before staying in something, ask, what value am I betraying by remaining here? Before making a big decision, ask, which choice allows me to respect myself more? That is how values become practical. They stop being words. They become a way of choosing. That is the mentor moment for today. You do not need to know your entire future to make better choices, but you do need to know what matters enough to guide your next ones. Because a life by design is not built by accident. It is built through repeated choices that match your values. And when your choices match your values, you begin to feel something that is deeper than motivation. You begin to feel alignment. You begin to feel quieter inside. You begin to feel like your life belongs to you. Here is your reflection question. What would you have to say no to if you truly lived from your deepest values? Sit with that. Not because saying no is always easy, but because sometimes your next life begins with the thing you finally stop betraying. And if this episode helped you, send it to someone who is trying to figure out what really matters. They may not need more options. They may need a clearer compass. This is Mentoring Myself, and I'll see you in the next episode.